My name is Aisha. What would you do if you had 1 rupee and saw a stranger cry? I had little money and a heavy bag of books. I was late for my exam and hungry. I saw an old woman at the school gate. She asked for help with groceries. I paid for her items with my last note. People around me stared, but I smiled. I kept a secret that day. I feared my father would be angry. Yet I felt a small joy in my chest. That small joy grew into a long story of reward and surprise. My name is Aisha. I study at a small city school. My family is poor. My father works late. My mother cleans houses. I want to be the first in my family to graduate. I want a scholarship. I want to pass the big exam. The school is strict. The principal is stern. There is a bully in my class. He pushes others at lunch. I have one close classmate, Rena. She helps me study. We share notes after class. We sit for extra tutoring with a kind tutor. One rainy day I had only 5 rupees. I walked to school with a thin jacket. At the gate I meet an old woman. She carries many bags. One bag tears and oranges fall. She cries in the rain. Students pass and do not stop. I see her small face and wet hands. My heart moves. I go to the canteen. I buy 1 warm samosa and a small packet of tea. The old woman asks for money. I remember my last note in my palm. I think of my exam. I think of the scholarship. My hands shake, but I give the note. She looks at me with bright eyes. She says, "God bless you, child." I hurry to the exam hall. I feel a strange mix of fear and peace. The bully laughs at me in class. He calls me foolish. The principal speaks about rules. I keep silent. I tell no one about the gift. I carry my secret like a small flame. I do not know then how big the flame will grow. School days go on. I study, do homework, and go to detention once for being late. I work hard with my tutor. I dream of being valedictorian one day. The woman disappears after that rainy day. No one knows where she went. A rumor spreads that she was taken to a shelter. I heard a sad word that she died. I did not believe it. I kept the memory of her hands. The memory braved my long nights. That memory would return years later in a way I never expected. I am Aisha. The old woman left the gate quietly. I told Rena about the money. She hugged me and said I am kind. The rumor of a death moved fast. A classmate said the woman died in a small room. The bully said it was fiction. The principal said nothing. My father heard and said, "Do not spend on strangers." He feared for money. I felt torn and forbidden to speak. I kept the secret in my heart. Years pass. I sit an important exam and I fail once. I failed the scholarship exam the first time. I feel shame and pain. I work harder. I take exams again. I pass with good marks. I get a letter from the school about a scholarship test. The scholarship means tuition fees paid. My mother cries with joy. I study for exams with a heavy mind. I think of the old woman's eyes. I think maybe she is gone. One day a local news page shows a list of donors for our school. A big name is on the paper. The name is Mrs. K. No one knows her face. She gave a large amount for scholarships. The school calls students to apply. I write my application and speak with the principal. The principal smiles and says she will choose by need and merit. I pray at night and study at day. Rena helps with the tutor. The bully now focuses on prom plans, but he still teases me. Exam day comes. I walk into the hall with my chest tight. I take the test slow. The tutor says my answers are good. I pass the test and I wait for the result. Weeks later the school posts the list. I open the paper with shaking fingers. My name is on the list for a full scholarship. I cry hard. My mother cries loud. We hug in the kitchen. I think of the small rupee and the old woman. Who is Mrs. K? How did she know to help? The principal announces a small ceremony for the donors at graduation. I will meet her face to face, or so I think. But then news comes that Mrs. K has died abroad. The donor is said to be dead. I feel a strange pain. I feel that the world is making a strange secret. I want to ask more, but the school holds silence. My hope grows and then is pulled back like the tide. My name is Aisha and I stand at graduation. The room smells of flowers and old books. The principal speaks about kindness and effort. He calls the names of students. I walk to the stage with my scholarship letter. My father sits in the crowd and claps. Rena cries and waves her hand. The camera shows a woman at the last row. She wears a soft scarf and sits with a small child. Her face is not clear. My heart beats fast. The principal thanks the donors and says one donor asked for no photo. He says the donor gave money because of a small act many years ago. My mind stops. I look at the woman in the crowd. She stands up slowly. My legs freeze. People whisper and point. The bully looks surprised and quiet. The principal reads a short note from the donor. The note says she once had help from a stranger. She is an old woman who escaped a hard life. She asked to help one poor student who had shown a small kindness. The principal says she asked to remain hidden, but now she is here to see the result. The woman walks to the stage with her child. Tears run down her face. She looks straight at me. I see the same wet hands from years ago. Rena grabs my arm. The child steps forward and says, "This is my mother." My voice trembles. I say, "You are the woman from the gate." The crowd gasps. She nods. Her voice is small. "I had to leave," she says. "I faked my death. I had danger. I changed my name. I worked hard. I saved money. I could help many children now. I feel shock and relief." She sits with me after the ceremony. She signs papers for the scholarship and writes a short line, "For the child who gave me hope." The school takes a photo. Later, the principal tells me she is now part of the tutor program. She will help other students. I learn she was once a seamstress and then a small business owner. She had to hide from a bad man. She pretended to die to leave that life. She remembers my hand. She kept a secret truth in her heart. The fake death saved her life. It made her strong. It let her return to help me. I feel a heavy thank you in my chest. I think of my father who forbade gifts. I think of my tutor who never gave up. I think of the bully who now will not mock me. I feel life turn like a book page. The old woman's small kindness and my small gift join like two bright threads. I am Aisha, and I learned a lesson that day. Small kindness matters. One small act can change a life. Even when people forbid you, your heart can choose right. The old woman faked her death to escape danger. Later, she built a new life and paid back the kindness with kindness. My scholarship let me study and tutor younger students. I worked to become a good tutor and a kind principal one day. I help students with detention, exam stress, and prom worries. I teach them values and the school words: bully, scholarship, exam, classmate, graduation. I tell them true stories of secret help and long reward. Be brave to be kind. You do not need much to help. A small gift can make a great change. That is my truth. Remember, kindness returns in time. Learn, help, and keep your heart open.